I always believed from the beginning, or I always just like envisioned myself and visualized myself being the best in the world. And I just always felt like it was very possible.
Basement.
Bella raga, nuovo appuntamento, nuovo Passa dal Basement, bentornati, ciao, io sono Gianluca Gazzoli, se ancora non l'avete fatto e vi va iscrivetevi a questo canale, questo insomma è il modo che potete utilizzare se vi va di supportarci, se vi piace quello che facciamo, ci vuole poco, basta iscriversi al canale, non perdete assolutamente nulla di tutto quello che succederà e neanche puntate leggendarie come questa, ma soprattutto se ci state ascoltando, guardando su qualsiasi altra piattaforma del pianeta, grandi, continuate a farlo, sì, non a caso del pianeta perché in realtà ragazzi oggi puntata planetaria, puntata dei record, sono davvero felice perché al Basement stanno succedendo cose straordinarie anche grazie a tutti voi che ci state seguendo e grazie un po' a quello che è lo spirito del Basement, perché la puntata di oggi, quella che state per sentire, quella che state per vivere è la rappresentazione un po' dello spirito del Basement, il modo in cui facciamo le cose, il modo in cui anche coinvolgiamo alcuni degli amici che passano a trovarci. Devo dire che qualche mese fa probabilmente quando guardavo le sue imprese in televisione attraverso i tanti video che sono usciti mai mi sarei immaginato di poter chiacchierare con lui. Ormai l'unica cosa che gli resta da battere è ancora se stesso. Subito dopo le Olimpiadi ha battuto nuovamente il suo miglior record, il limite ormai, quello del cielo, è stato superato, non so cos'altro gli resta, forse gli restava passare dal Basement, perché attenzione, sta succedendo, parleremo di questo e di molto altro perché dal Basement è passato, giuro, sono serio, Mondo Duplantis. Wow, thank you, Mondo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What an intro. I didn't understand it, but it sounded good. Yeah.
But the energy was good.
The energy was really
the
good.
energy
yeah.
was good. Thank you for coming. It's it's a big honor. It's a real honor to have you here. Thank you very much. Have you been in Milan before? Yeah. How many
Yes.
times have you been in Milan?
I think this is maybe only my second time, actually.
Second time.
Yeah. But I was here, here a couple years ago for the Monza.
Okay. For
GP.
the
GP. Yeah,
For the GP.
Yeah, exactly. And then, and then here during Fashion Week. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's-
Do you
it's
like the fashion world or?
I think it's kind of cool. I mean, I guess. I mean, I like to dress up and I like to like look good. I think it's like a nice thing. I think it's nice to, I don't know, present yourself the way you want to be. It makes you feel something.
Okay.
In a good way. So yeah, no, I like it. I mean, I wouldn't say like all day, every day, but like yeah, I think it's cool.
How is this period of your life? Is a quiet period? A great period? Yes, for sure.
Yeah, good period. Not that quiet though.
Not
It's
quiet.
it's been quite a lot actually. The past the past month or two, ever since the Olympics, has just been crazy. Because then also it's like the way that our season works is that I still had competitions left, so I still had like 4 or 5 competitions even after the Olympics. But and then just a lot of stuff going on since, of course, what happened at the Olympics. But no, it's been, I mean, good. I mean, it's a good thing, I would say. So I'm trying to be like grateful and soak everything in because it is like super sick and like once in a lifetime stuff that's going on, and there's a lot of like cool stuff that I could have only dreamt of happening, years ago. So just trying to soak it in and enjoy it as best as I can, even if it's a bit overwhelming at times.
Okay. Well, it's in last summer. We went crazy for your records for you for your video on social network. Your life is changed from this Olympics game or is
Yeah. I mean, yes and no. Just more people know you.
Okay.
Just more people recognize you. I mean, I guess that's quite different in a way. And then just a lot more like stuff going on, a lot more requests to do things, I guess. And so you have to pick what you think is worth it and what you, I guess, want to do. But I mean, it's the same thing. You have the same group of people around you. You have the same friends, same family,
Same
and
team.
same everything. Yeah. I mean, so it's not like really, really different. It's just you walk down the street and more people recognize you. That's the real difference, honestly.
Okay, and it's crazy for me to talk with you because I saw your videos, your records last summer, and it's crazy now talk with you about these records, and you improve your records another time one month ago.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
1 month ago, and now I think that you have other goal for the future. But my first question is why Mondo? Because your real name is not Mondo, is Armand. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's just a nickname. Of course, yeah, you know, it's
It's
an
beautiful.
Italian
Italian name.
Italian, yeah, Italian for world. And my father's best friend, his family's from Sicily, and so yeah, so it was yeah, I guess it came from an Italian. My name, and they started calling me Mondo Man first when I was younger, and I just really liked it.
Mondo Man.
Mondo Man, yeah.
First was Mondo Man.
Yeah, yeah, and like I mean, I'm talking about like from the very beginning. Like I watched some videos of me jumping in, and it was like I was 4 years old.
Yeah,
and
we saw
and I can,
a crazy video on your social network in the last months about a younger Mondo.
yeah, no, I mean I started jumping when I was like 3 years old, 4 years old. My father built the whole setup in the backyard, and yeah, that's when the whole Mondo thing started. I guess it probably also kind of maybe derived and came from the whole pole vaulting thing a little bit.
And do you like it, Mondo? Now is
Yeah,
your
yeah,
brand
yeah.
Mondo?
Yeah, I mean, it's just my name. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? When sometimes you just have like a nickname that just like you just identify as that. I mean, it's just like my name. I mean, I can't remember a time where I ever went by anything except Mondo.
Yeah.
Like ever since I could ever remember and have like
And your father, for example, called you Mondo or Armand?
Mondo. Yeah.
Mondo for everybody.
Everybody in the entire world calls me Mondo except my mother's mother, so my grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the only person that calls me Armand still.
Like
But other than
like
that,
usual, like usual.
Yeah, she's like she doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really. The whole Mondo thing doesn't work with her, I guess, or just nickname, I guess, in general. But so she stays with Armand. But other than that, everybody in the whole world, I'll say, call me Mondo,
Yeah,
please.
Mondo in the world now is a most popular name. Maybe from last summer, next parents called their sons Mondo.
Maybe.
You're bad.
Yeah. But it's, yeah, I mean, I think it's a sick name. So
It's,
I mean,
it's
yeah.
really beautiful. But you were born in the US, right? And you were also raised in US.
Yeah. So I grew up in the United States,
Yeah.
Louisiana. So it's like way down south in the United States with American father. Mother was Swedish. Spend some time just in Sweden in the summers when I was a kid. Really go there and visit my mom's side, and then do also some competitions. And then, but I wasn't like I didn't really like live in Sweden until 2020 even really. Yeah. So just like 4 years ago or so was the first time I really like actually like had a place in Sweden. So before I was really predominantly or I guess only in the United States.
Wow. And when did you decide your new citizenship?
Well, I was born a dual citizen. So I was always Swedish, but when I decided to compete internationally for Sweden in 2015, and I think at the time it wasn't like that crazy of a thing. It was more of just like something that I felt was right, and I guess my parents thought it was right, and it was more like it's quite tough in the United States as far as like the opportunities that you have as a track and field athlete, and so we just thought it was easier for me as far as being in Sweden and being in Europe, and I had a lot of trouble as a kid growing up in the United States trying to find competitions because it was like impossible for a 7-year-old to do pole vaulting in the United States. And so we'd go to Sweden and do a series of competitions during the summer and stuff. So always had that kind of like connection with, I guess, Sweden and what I did. And then, and then I decided to, choose to compete for Sweden. Following my brother. My brother also, who's like 6 years older than me, he competed internationally for Sweden also. And so kind of followed his path a little bit there. And then, and then it was basically
Are
just
you
that.
happy about this decision now?
Yeah. No,
no
it's
regrets about this.
Zero. No, it's amazing, and yeah. Now I'm like, really settled in. Yeah,
And you know two different worlds, the US world and the Sweden world. Which are the main differences?
everything. Well, I mean, United States. It's hard to talk about United States like as a whole. You know what I mean? Because it's so big to where like there's no similarities almost between somebody from Louisiana and a guy from California, a guy from New York. Like you didn't have the same upbringing or life at all, almost. So I can only really speak for the region that I grew up, like in the South or in the southern part of Louisiana. But the weather's completely different.
Yeah.
Super.
Another planet.
That's another planet. But I mean, people are just different people, different. I mean, it's completely across the whole world. But I mean, I think both of them are. I really love both of them, and I love that I have both sides of of the cultures. I mean, I think I am kind of like split in between a little bit. Like I have these American things about me that are more on my father's side, and then I also have these kind of parts of me that are also quite Swedish, I guess you'd say.
And do you remember the first time that you try with pole vault? The first time?
No,
No, because he's
no, it's because it was I don't know. I was like 3 years old or something.
3 years old.
Yeah,
About your for your father.
yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't really know if it was like for my father. It was more just like I just tried it out, and my two older brothers were jumping, especially my oldest brother Andreas. He was jumping in the backyard, and I was just like, that seems sick. That seems cool. And then I just tried it out, I think. But for me, like, it wasn't really anything crazy. It was just like, you go and like play football, and you have like you have like the goal and everything in your backyard. Like, it was just normal thing for me. Like, it wasn't weird.
Okay.
Because my father pole vaulted, and then my brother pole vaulted, even though it is
Football is weird for you, maybe.
yeah, kind of, not really. I mean, yeah, like almost though. That's kind of what I mean. Yeah, it's not like playing. You have like a basketball hoop in the garage. It's not like, I mean, that's how normal it was for me, and I never really thought it was weird or different until I started school, and then I would like explain to my classmates and stuff what I do and stuff when I get home and all that, and they were just like, they didn't even know what I was talking about, but. Yeah, so for me, it was just like felt normal. I would just be in my backyard pole vault.
When did you realize that you were good at this sport? Because you have a great talent.
I think I always did. I mean, I think there's different like levels of like realizations and like confidence, I guess. And like there was always like stops along the way to where like the confidence got higher and higher. But I think I always believed from the beginning, or I always just like envisioned myself and visualized myself being the best in the world. And I just always felt like it was very possible. And I can't really remember a time where I didn't feel that way. I really felt like from the beginning, it was like, this is my passion. This is what I love to do. And I really felt like I was like put on earth to do it too. And it always felt like it was just like a match made in heaven kind of thing. It just felt like always right to me. So, no, I just always was.
Okay.
I was always good. I was always good, I guess.
Already.
Kind of. But I was just. I mean, I still am, but I was just obsessed with it too. Like I just was just completely obsessed with jumping and pushing myself and getting the most of myself. And I'm kind of like that with a lot of things too. Like if I like something, I get pretty deep into it. But like it was like when it came to pole vaulting, it was just like. Real obsession. Like I just turned into like a maniac almost when I'm on the track. Like
I think this is the only way to win a gold medal, maybe.
yeah, but I think it's the only way to do anything, like, or if you want to do something really, really great. Yeah. I mean, you really have to like, you have to be obsessed with it almost like in an unhealthy way, I guess. I mean, you really have to love what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because I think that if the love and the passion's not there, like deep rooted inside of you, then I think it's,
How many days at week you jump with the pole vault?
once a week.
Once a
Once a
week?
Yeah, that
okay.
sounds weird, huh?
Yeah, once a week.
Yeah.
The other days you
yeah, but-
train in the gym.
Yeah, but a lot of sprint training too. It's like I train like a sprinter that also does like gymnastics, and then I pole vault like once a week in the middle of it. But I jump less than the average pole vaulter because I don't really have to as much anymore. I feel like I have like the feeling and the timing of everything now, and it's a pretty physically tough sport. I mean, it's pretty tough on your body. So I think that not having to jump that much is a good thing. Saving your body a little bit because it can be quite tough. But yeah, so it's mostly for me. It's a lot of sprint training. Yeah, in the gym and stuff, especially like if it's the fall, sure. And a lot of just other stuff. But when I was younger, of course, that's all I did. I just jumped every day.
Yeah.
Just jumped
Every day.
I think pretty much. I mean,
Okay.
of course, there was I still played like baseball and football, and so like I did other things. So it wasn't really every day, but it was probably pretty much every day. Yeah.
Recently, we saw also your sprint race against another athlete. It wasn't your first time, right?
No,
Your
no.
result was good.
Yeah, pretty good.
You win, no?
I
I
won.
remember.
Yeah, I won. It was I raced against Karsten Warholm. He's the 400-meter hurdle world record holder
Okay.
and Olympic champion in the 400-meter hurdles. Yeah, and so we raced over 100 meters. And yeah, I think I surprised quite a lot of people. And I mean, I think, like I was saying, like I do a lot of sprint training. I mean, I train like a sprinter. I mean, because it's the most important aspect of the jump is sprint, and speed kills. And so whoever can generate the most speed and energy on the runway is usually going to have the best chance to, jump higher. That's just like the simple form of what the event is. And so speed is the like most important factor of everything. And so I wasn't surprised on the way that I ran.
Is there another discipline that you are good at?
I didn't do any other events in athletics because when I grew up in the United States, there was no like track and field culture, no culture in athletics to do any other events or anything like that when I grew up. So really for me, I am really just a pole vaulter. I just grew up as a pole vaulter. It wasn't like if I would have, they don't have like any good club system like they have in Sweden where you try out all the different events and you find the one that works for you and picks the best. Like it wasn't like that. I just played baseball, some football, and then I just pole vaulted. That's it. No other. I mean, and then I ran like a few times when I was in high school. Like did some 100 meters, but other than that, it was just pole vault.
Now you inspire many kids, many young boys, a new generation of pole vaulters. Do you remember some fun interaction with them?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think about it all that much, honestly. I think that, I guess I do. It's hard to put myself in that mindset that I am like a big deal in people's minds, I guess, and that I do inspire people. I know that I guess I probably do, but, for me, I think that, the best advice, and I mean, I guess the most important thing is that you just really have to find what you love to do and what is your passion and what do you like to do and what's going to excite you to wake up the next morning and you want just more of it all the time. Because I think that, there's a lot of outside influences on people's life and people do things for other reasons other than for themselves. And I think you have to have that, internal desire to really to really love what you're doing, I guess. I think that's really the most important thing. And so as far as you find what you really love, then I think that you can take it as far as you want. I think that's the most important thing.
Confucio said the same thing.
Yeah.
And how many gold medals do you have? Do you remember? Because are a lot.
I don't know. No, I guess I kind of lost track, I guess, which is probably a really good thing, I guess, how you judge everything. But no, it's been a good past years. And so I've won a lot of good stuff, a lot of gold medals, and so I'm
Do you have
grateful.
a basement like this only for your gold medals?
I split it up. I have like, yeah, kind of. I need. I don't. Yeah. The place I share with my girl in Stockholm, we don't have room for everything actually. So I have to. I give a lot of stuff to my parents. So I have to leave it to them because my parents also are my coaches. If you didn't know.
Wow.
Yeah, my mom
good.
writes the training program,
Yeah.
and then my father, he does the technical side of things. So give a lot of the stuff to them too.
And what is the most important gold medal for you?
Probably, I mean, I think like, of course, the newest one, the fresh one, the Olympics where I broke the world record. I think it's going to be pretty. There's nothing that compares to it. I mean, the Olympics is by far the biggest competition that we have as as somebody that's in athletics, and there's just nothing bigger than that. And so you have this one moment that only comes once every 4 years to do something special. And if you want to make a real big impact outside of your sport and more globally, then it has to be at the Olympics. There's no other way to do it, really. I mean, we have world championships and European champs and stuff like that, but it doesn't have even nearly the impact that Olympics does. So yeah, I mean, doing what I did, I guess, at the Olympics, like broke the world record and everything. Last attempt, there's like, it's always going to be, it's like I don't have to top that, I guess. I'm going to try to keep going forward and keep jumping higher and keep pushing myself. But there's like, the way the moment came together was so perfect that it's like, I'm okay if I don't beat that moment ever again.
Thank you, Mondo, for your answer, because usually the other athletes or artists answer me always next one, the next one, the next
but
one.
I would be bullshitting, I think, if I said that a little bit. But because for me, I don't. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of like that a little bit. I do have that mindset. Like I think like as humans, you adapt to everything. You know, you get so used to things so quickly. Like, you know, I'm very grateful, but I'm not still like waking up every morning and I can't believe what just happened at the Olympics. Like you get used to it and you're kind of like, yeah, that was sick, but that's what it was. And so that's kind of, I guess, how you are as a person. You just always like develop that you have that in you. But yeah, I mean, I still do look forward, but very short term. Like I don't think I'm very like much in the present.
Yeah.
And I can't think past like very short term stuff. And I like to do like, I think probably because I'm just bad at planning too.
Yeah, I know. I understand you in different way, but I understand you. Did you like Paris during the Olympics game?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean,
Because the venues were amazing.
the venue was amazing. Yeah, the stadium was unbelievable. The atmosphere was unlike anything that I've ever been a part of, like ever in my life. It was just huge. It was amazing. And then I had like so much of my family that was there. So much from my mom's side, dad's side. I mean, it was like a big family reunion. It was the most I've ever had my family all together in one place, like ever. So I think that was also made it like extra special for me. But other than that, it's a lot though. I mean, it's a lot of people and it's a lot of like stress. And so like for me, I went only like 2 days before the competition and I left like the day after or the day after, because it's like, it's so much stuff going on. That's like, you know,
It's different like Tokyo, for example.
Yeah. Tokyo was just like, you know, not nice. It was not as nice. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, that was stress on like a whole different level because you also had like the whole, you know, COVID thing to worry about. And there was people that were testing positive and whatnot. And you were just scared too in general. And everybody was just like anxious. And then it's also like the biggest moment of your life and career. But so, yeah, Paris was a lot better than that. Yeah.
Do you at the time to visit other venue in Paris, or you are focused on?
No. Yeah, I didn't know. Okay. It's just too big of a thing, you know? It's like, I don't really like, I can watch that stuff on TV and watch, you know, but I didn't really like, no, I didn't soak up like the Olympic experience like that really. And I kind of more like hid myself and I just like was watching TV, just trying to rest as much as I can and just really make sure that I'm in like the best possible shape and energy level for the final. So no, I didn't really do anything. I just like went to the track and then that was
Yeah,
like,
I know.
was
But
good. Yeah.
have you ever met some special athlete that you admire, for example, or your some idols, or in other sports?
I didn't really, like I said, I really didn't do much in the as far as like the Olympics. Like I was really like secluded, I guess you could say. Like I wasn't really like in the mix of everybody else, and I wasn't really doing anything. So honestly, no, not really, not really. I was like barely ever in the village. Even I was like outside and like just like.
Do you like
doing my own thing.
the muffin? Have you eaten the muffin?
I didn't try it.
No.
No, I didn't try
No.
it. No.
I tried.
You
I
did?
tried. I was in Paris
Really?
last July.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. But I'm not an athlete.
You know?
I couldn't.
No, I'm not like worried about not eating the muffin, but I think it was like I was like too late, I think, or maybe I didn't see it. Maybe I was just too late on my phone, but I think I was already like not in the village or anything like that. Like by the time the
I
Norwegian
know.
dude was going viral and shit. But no, I didn't get the muffin, unfortunately.
I know. For us, for common people, your sport, your discipline, pole vault looks very, very, very tough, super tough, maybe. And can you describe your routine during your gold medal jump?
Yeah, it's so complicated. It's so complicated of an event. It's like it's so specific of a movement that like it's almost like impossible to explain, describe. Um, but I mean, I've said this before, I guess, but like the simplest form of like what poverty is and what is a good jump is that, you know, we're you're trying to get on as stiff a pole as possible, trying to create the most energy through the run and then through the takeoff, like when you actually initially get off the ground and push, have the pressure on the pole into the back of the box. And then, the more energy that you have there and the stiffer the pole is that you're on, you're trying to like use as stiff a pole as possible, the more it's like a catapult effect. So it's gonna fling you up higher in the air. So that's really the main thing. So like during the meet, I'm just trying to find like the rhythm on the run so that I have more and more confidence. Because as the meet goes on, usually you get a little bit faster and faster because you're starting to find the rhythm and the confidence to where you can just let everything go on autopilot and you can just run. And that's kind of the way you have to be. You have to be in like a flow state to where you have no thoughts or anything that are disrupting like the flow of everything because it's such a specific technique and feeling to where everything has to be very like fluid and flow like perfectly in that way.
When did you realize that you won the gold medal? In which part of jump? During on the top or maybe
I mean,
at the
yeah, I mean,
bottom?
actually, to be honest, as soon as I take off the ground, I kind of know. I can feel like the speed that I have, and like as soon as I plant the pole into the box and I just come off the ground, just right in the very beginning, I can feel like, okay, this is it, or it's not it, because it's either gonna be like yes or no, or like bad or good, kind of in a way.
And then you ran to your friends, to your girlfriend.
Yeah.
How important is she for your career or for this period?
Um, yeah, well, I think for me, yeah, Desiree is like, yeah, it's just everything for me. Not only as an athlete, but as a person. And I guess they both go kind of hand in hand. And she's not super involved like from the very beginning of when we met into pole vaulting. Now she's like, big fan and follows everything, not only just me, but before I think she's just I think it really helps me to find like a really great balance in life, which I think is really important because I know how I am as a person. Like I'm very passionate about pole vaulting and I'm always going to be focused and have tunnel vision when I'm on the track. But I think it is still very important to like make sure you still have a good life outside of it and be able to live a little bit and find like happiness and somebody that can push you to grow in that kind of way. So no, it's yeah, super nice. And so like Olympics and stuff like that, when I run over to Des, it's those kind of moments. It's like indescribable.
Your kiss now is one of the most important and famous kisses in the world.
Yeah, it's a bit viral. It's a bit viral.
Like her video. Her video
Yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like, just millions and millions of
Yeah,
views. Yeah, it was
yeah.
like
Everywhere in the world.
a different level of viral that we weren't. Yeah, I mean, how can you expect that? I mean, it's just like it
What
is
is
what it is.
your relationship with social network, with social media?
I don't
Do
know.
you use?
Yeah, I use it. I mean, I don't know. I just try to like, I do it myself. I don't like have like anybody else. It's just me. I mean, it's Desiree, I guess, is really the one that helps me with my stuff. Um, but other than that, yeah, I mean, I do whatever feels like natural, do whatever feels authentic. I don't think I'm like the most active on social media, but I still like put stuff out there, I guess, just for like vibes and whatnot. But I just go off like my gut and vibes and stuff like that. I don't like, it's not like super calculated and like, and that kind of way. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe this is one of the best ways to use social media for an athlete.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on what you want, I guess. I mean, there's probably ways to do it better if you as far as like from a numbers and like analytical standpoint, sure. But like, I don't know, it's just like give and take, it's whatever you want to put your energy and mind towards and what's important, for you and what you want to do, I guess. It's everything's different for
Yeah.
different people, you know.
There is another viral video from the last Olympics. It's not about you, but it's about another athlete,
Pole vaulter?
French athlete, Paul Walter.
Anthony
Yeah.
Moretti. Yeah, it's funny. It's
It's
like
possible. This is possible.
I think it's
This
yeah.
is possible.
It was like I broke the world record at the Olympics, and I don't even think I was the most viral pole vaulter.
Yeah.
I think I was like the second most viral pole vaulter
Yeah.
because of Anthony. Yeah, I mean,
Did you speak to him about this?
I saw him actually the next day after the qualifying round.
Okay.
And it was just like for him, I think he was almost like scared because it was such a, like, I think that's a weird thing when the internet takes something like that. That's just kind of like stupid.
Yeah.
And that's like the whole thing of it. It wasn't like a viral moment because of like some crazy success that you did. And then you expect it. Like he has no idea that that's going to happen. He probably don't even remember the jump barely that it even like, I mean, maybe he does. I don't know. Might have hurt. But yeah, no, that was,
Did something
funny-
like this ever happen to you?
I'm trying to think, honestly. I mean, yeah, I would assume so. I mean, it's a bit of like an unlikely position to be in, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's an uncommon situation to be in, but yeah, it's funny as hell though.
Who is your inspiration? Who was your inspiration when you start or today?
I have a few, really. A few. I mean, really, my father and my oldest brother Andreas. In the very very beginning, I mean, it was like, especially my older brother. Just like watching him jump, I just always wanted to be like him in every single way, especially as a pole vaulter too. And then after that, as I started to really like dive deep into pole vaulting, the former world record holder, Frenchman Renaud Lavillenie, he was a huge inspiration to me. I think the biggest thing was that I was like quite short when I was younger, and my father's like very short. He's like 165, and so I didn't really know how tall I was going to be. And Renaud was like, I don't even know. He's like maybe 170 something, 175 maybe at most. That's how tall he is. Probably even shorter. And he had the world record, Olympic champion, former, and so he was the best pole vaulter in the world. And then it was like because he just did everything else just so good, and he's such a beautiful pole vaulter, and he still is. He still jumps, but he was just so good back in those days, and that was a big inspiration to me because it gave me that confidence and belief that if he can do it, I can do it. Because I didn't know if I was going to be that tall. I got pretty lucky. I was actually fortunate enough to be like, for my family standards, quite tall, just in like 183. But yeah, so that was Renaud was probably my biggest inspiration as far as like pole vault wise.
How is your relationship with your father? Is good. Because
Really good.
He is your trainer, no?
He is, yeah. It's like really good, and I think it's almost like unusual in a way. I think that it's pretty. Our relationship's like not like a normal father-son duo. It's like almost like he's like my big brother in a way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he's just always. Yeah, it's kind of always been like that. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's just like we kind of have that dynamic more than anything, and it's more like, I think, big brother in the way of like he's not necessarily always. He lets me find my own path and my own way, and even pole vaulting lets me figure out my own things, and he's always there to give great advice and put me in line if need be. But it's not like a father in a way of like controlling and you have to do what he says, or my way or the highway, as you say in English. Not like that at all. But it's like, no, I mean, I think like talking on the phone, there's nobody that I talk to more than my dad. We just talk like all the time. And we just talk nonsense too. We just like talk bullshit all the time, just about everything, just about life. And
Do you remember his most important advice for you?
I don't even know, honestly. I mean, I think that like for us, it's more of just like a relationship thing. It's not really just about like one-liners. It's just about like being like just having that, I mean, father figure that I have, I guess. I mean, it's so important because, I know that I'm very fortunate enough to where not everybody really has that. And it's tough for people that, as far as like when you're an athlete, especially, it's to balance that dynamic of father, son, father, coach. It's tough, but I mean, so for me, I'm just really like so grateful, and I just have to be really just thankful for like the way that he's handled me and let me grow, and also like push me in the right way, not in like a forceful way, and let me find my own path in life. And I think my brothers feel the same way, because not everybody's like a pole vaulter in my family. Like my brother, he didn't like pole vault. He wanted to play baseball. And my father doesn't really know baseball like that. And he was like, yeah, you do that. That's no problem. It wasn't like we were forced to do anything. So really just, yeah, thankfulness.
Wow, you are free.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, free, of course. And then it's more like, but I mean, he's still gonna like, but then I think there's also that level of honesty that you have to have with your people, and I think your close ones and loved ones like should be like that. I mean, if I'm out of line, I'm doing something that's probably not best for me or what I want, then he maybe says, "Be like, hey, that's not what you should be doing." It's not like he just lets me do whatever I want all the time, because I don't do all the right things all the time. I mean, you're still human, so you make mistakes. I don't agree with everything I did yesterday. That's not really how it is. So, he knows how to put me in check when I need it.
Yeah.
And I think that's also a very important thing.
This is very important. We talked about your gold medals before, and what is the secret, the mindset to win again, to the motivation to keep going? Because from the outside, the feeling is that you have a real rival, and you are your real rival.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's always like that though. Even before I was winning everything, like it's the sport is just you against the bar. That's what the sport is. It's not like where you're playing something like football or soccer, like, and you're just playing against somebody, and it's like a little chess game that you're playing against, and you have to react and base your next move off of what he does. I can only control what I do, and I just go there and I try to jump against the bar and as high as I possibly can, and then I just compete against the person next to me on paper. That's it. Not like actually in other than that. So for me, it's always just focused on myself, and I'm trying to win, of course. I'm trying to be like the last man standing, and that gives you motivation. It pushes you, but I mean, the only way to really go about it in that way is like you have to have that internal drive and motivation to just beat yourself and get better than you were yesterday.
This is the only way to break records.
I think so. I mean, yeah, sure. I think because that's at the end of the day, you know, and you realize your potential and what you're capable of, and so you just try to get the most out of yourself. And for me, it just happens to be like world records and stuff like that. If I'm able to get a little bit better, and but that's for me. I don't really like overcomplicate it or overthink it and make it bigger than what it is. I just try to get better and try to push myself in whatever way that I can to get that little much better, and that's it really.
What are your next goals now? Maybe break another record.
Yeah, that's the next goal. I'm not really like, if I'm being completely honest, like next year will come, but I'm not really that worried about it right now. Like I know how I am, and I know that when it comes to next year, and every time I step out into the track, I don't want to lose, and I'm going to make sure that I'm performing at the level that I know that I'm capable of. And I think as you get better and better, you expect more out of yourself, and it becomes harder to keep up with yourself in a way. But for me right now, I'm just like enjoying this year, and I'm enjoying like what I just did and my accomplishments, because as an athlete, like everything goes so fast, life goes so fast. So try to just slow it down as best as I can. Enjoy some good vacation time with Desiree, and good family time, and just like enjoy and reminisce on just like what a great season I just had. I think that's really important to try to soak it in and soak it in as best as I can. So for me right now, like I don't really have goals for next year. Try to it's gonna be what it always is. It's just like try to jump high, try to jump higher than I did the year before. Try to win all the competitions that I'm at. Try to win the world champs. Blah blah blah. But like, I'm not. I really like. I'm just not there mentally yet. I think I'm also like I'm in the off season too. Like I'm not even training right now. I'm just like eating whatever, and like I'm in Milan. I'm just like eating food, partying and stuff, and I'm just doing whatever I want. So that's probably why I can't think about it either, or I just don't But I think it's good. I think you need to be in that mindset sometimes where you just need to.
What is your
Take a chill.
favorite Italian food in these days? It's difficult.
Yeah, it is difficult. I've had so much. I don't know. I've had so many different types of pasta. I feel like
Pasta
it's
is
just
always the right
It's really
answer.
just pasta. I mean, just like any like whether it's bolognese or linguine with
Yeah,
the
okay.
fish and stuff. Like I've had pasta. I haven't really eaten breakfast. I think I wake up too late.
Yeah.
But I've had pasta the past 2 days I've been here, I've had it like the 4 meals that I've even had. They've all consisted of pasta in some way. I had like linguine, I had spaghetti, and then I had whatever
Perfect.
ravioli. Like
You
I had
are in
everything.
the right place for this.
I'm in the right place for gaining weight, eating good food, having a good time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in the right place. So, and that's exactly what I want to do right now. So it's perfect.
Thank you, Mondo, for this conversation. It was very, very great for us. I hope also for you.
Absolutely. Thanks.
I switch in Italian because perché devo ringraziare una persona se questa cosa è stata possibile, perché volevo ringraziare il mio nuovo manager. Non so se posso chiamare. Can I ask these guys, these crazy guys? Do you
Yeah.
know these guys?
I don't know who this is.
This is the first time. Attenzione, sta passando dal basement anche Gianmarco Tamberi. Allora, questa è una cosa per me bellissima perché è lo spirito del basement, nel senso che questa cosa è stata together, stay together,
Oh,
stay
okay,
together.
yeah.
Only
Just to say.
a quick question with Jimbo. Com'è andata, Jimbo? Bene?
Bene,
Tu
bene.
conoscevi già, ovviamente.
Sapevo che non avrebbe deluso.
No, beh,
Quando ho saputo che veniva qua in Italia, insomma, in questo momento il basement ha bisogno di ospiti di questo livello e lui ha bisogno di,
No, è stato bello
di
proprio perché
piattaforme come queste per essere conosciuto. È veramente un grande.
è nata spontaneamente e insomma anche il vostro rapporto è bello perché in qualche modo tra atleti alla fine uno pensa sempre chissà che cosa, invece ci sono sempre delle belle relazioni.
Indubbiamente nel campo passiamo tante ore insieme alle gare, ormai da tanti anni, lui è un campione indiscusso, è bello apprendere e cercare di migliorarsi anche guardando talenti più giovani che
Ci
però hanno
credo.
tanto da insegnarci.
Sì, è vero perché è più giovane, mi ero dimenticato
Molto.
questa.
Tipo 8 anni. You are 24, right?
Yeah, turned 25 in November.
So
What-
8 years less than me.
8 years is enough. What do you think about Gianmarco? Do you remember the first time that you met him?
You
Met,
probably won't
Gianmarco?
remember because we were drunk. No, I'm
No,
joking.
no.
No, I'm joking.
I think it's actually probably facts though.
I'm joking.
Because
Probably facts.
you are the best jumper in the world.
Yeah.
It's incredible in the same place here at the basement. It's a great honor for us.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like and we always like just run into each other by chance.
Yeah.
It's like super weird. Like we went on vacation one time, we were in Greece and we ran into each other
I
randomly.
remember.
And then every time like I'm in Italy, we just always run into each other. And so
I remember the jump in the swimming pool. It's different.
yeah,
It was different.
but no, I mean, yeah, Jimbo's Jimbo. I mean, unreal athlete, and and what he does.
Have you ever tried his
I jump?
high jump?
Not really.
No.
Not really. Like I've done like a jump or so, but like I have no idea what I can do. It's like I have no idea.
Yeah. And
It's a
have
very
you ever-
different sport. Like it's
another
like,
sport.
Yeah, another sport.
Another
I have
different
triple vault. I jumped like
But it's so-
340.
Oh really?
Yeah, 340
But
is good.
that's not bad. Yeah.
340.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not
It's
bad.
like almost half what you jump. But it's fine.
Yeah, but yeah, pole vault is too complicated. It's too weird. But high jump's hard too, and like I just don't feel like I don't know. It's kind of
very-
a brutal event.
Both both are very technical events, so
Yeah.
you need to like really know
The
how
most
to do
technicals, maybe.
it. Probably yes.
Yeah.
Pole vault and high jump. they're more-
Every details of your movements are
It's very specific.
are important.
Yeah, very specific and tiny little small margins of error.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely in both high jump and pole vault for sure.
Jump. Higher
Just
jumper
jump.
always.
That's
To the
plan.
moon. To the moon. Sky is the limit. Someone said this.
For him, sky was the limit.
Yeah. The moon, maybe the moon now. Grazie mille ragazzi, thank you very much. Grazie mille Mondo.
Grazie,
you are
grazie.
Italian now,
Yeah,
Mondo.
yeah,
Mondo is
Mondo,
Italian.
Mondo.
Thank you for coming at the basement. Thank you very much. Jimbo, è successo davvero. Grazie davvero. See you next time.
See you when I see you.
See you at the restaurant maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite, bro. Ciao.
Mondo Duplantis è passato
See you
dal
guys.
basement, davvero è successo.